An arrest in the death of Manny Collins.
Yes, it was nearly 2 months to the day after his disappearance. Officers now say they believe the 16-year-old was killed by his father. Manny's mother reported him missing in May after he vanished while visiting his father in Columbia Heights. Groups searched for him for months until his body was discovered in a landfill just 2 weeks ago.
We are praying for justice for Manny. He deserves justice.
Those prayers may soon be answered. Barrett Leone joins us now from the live desk with the latest. Barrett.
Yeah, a big development to the case. Authorities announced last night that Jordan Collins Sr. was arrested, but he has not yet been charged. Before his arrest, police had not named him as a suspect. Collins is currently being held at the Anoka County Jail, according to the jail roster. He's there on suspicion of second-degree murder. Law enforcement tells us that this is still an active investigation, and we still have a lot of unanswered questions, like how Manny died. Here's what we know. Manny was last seen May 8th at his father's apartment in Columbia Heights. Shortly after he was reported missing, we took you inside that apartment building, where you can see that the door was boarded up and marked up with evidence tape. Investigators later told us that video evidence showed the boy's body was tossed into a dumpster that led them to a 4-week search in a landfill in Elk River. Local, county, and federal law enforcement said they spent nearly 10,000 hours searching before finding Manny's remains last Tuesday. 2 days later, family, friends, and loved ones held a vigil to remember the teen. Of course, this case is far from closed. We'll be following this today, and we'll let you know if any charges are filed.
All right, Barrett, thank you. This morning, Minnesota Senator John Hoffman is waking up in a bed that isn't in a hospital. This is for the first time since he was attacked. He's now out of the ICU and has moved to a rehabilitation facility. His family releasing a photo of him as he was checking out yesterday. Now, Senator Hoffman and his wife Yvette, they were shot a total of 17 times in an attack during the middle of the night at their home in Champlin. Prosecutors say Vance Belter was impersonating a police officer when he carried out these attacks. He faces state and federal charges for the murder of former Speaker Melissa Hortman and her husband Mark.
A woman is recovering after quick-thinking firefighters saved her from going over a metro waterfall.
Minneapolis fire chief says crews responded to a call about a woman who had been stranded in the rushing water just above Minnehaha Falls. This was yesterday afternoon. Rescuers were able to get a life ring around her and then pull her safely back to shore. And this morning, the search for survivors of last week's historic flash floods in Texas continues.
CBS News' Naomi Rucham joins us. Local authorities continue to face mounting questions over what could have been done to alert the public as the dangers of those waters just rose and rose.
God. Vigils in cities around Texas Monday honor the more than 100 people killed in the tragic July 4th weekend flash floods. The frantic search is intensifying as hundreds of rescue workers, some volunteers, sift through debris in hopes of finding those still missing.
It's complicated by the broad, the mass of people that we're looking for. This is going to take a while.
10 children and 1 counselor from Camp Mystic in hard-hit Kerr County are still unaccounted for. Officials confirm that at least 27 campers and counselors died in the floods. This video shows survivors from the all-girls camp singing hymns after they were rescued. The historic flooding has led to criticism over early warning systems. Texas Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick tells CBS News that state lawmakers could consider funding new sirens in the coming weeks.
Maybe that would have sparked people to say, oh, we have a massive disaster like 5 minutes away.
Meanwhile, donations are now pouring in.
It's about picking each other up
as communities come together to mourn and rebuild. Naomi Rucham, CBS News.
So as the search and rescue efforts continue, Texas pro sports teams are sending in donations to help flood victims recover. The NFL announcing a donation for $1.5 million, with the Houston Astros announcing a contribution of $1 billion. The NBA, alongside the Mavericks, Spurs, and Rockets, they're pitching in more than $2 million, while the Texas Rangers are adding in another $1 million to the recovery effort. Local sports teams have also been aiding in the relief effort, helping to collect water, cleaning supplies, and hygiene products. If you'd like to help with the flood recovery efforts, you can go to cbsnews.com/helptexas.